Okay guys, so I'm starting off with, in my pan, I have actually got a little bit of beef fat, which is optional. I actually just cooked up some beef fat, which is part of my breakfast. So I have a little bit of the beef fat. I want to say that's about a tablespoon. And then I have got this Parmesan, garlic, basil, Parmesan and basil seasoned butter. So you could find whichever kind of garlic Parmesan butter you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm starting off by heating this up. I do have a little bit of the bits of the beef fat, which will add extra fat, which is going to be really good. So once this starts heating up, I'm going to add, I have one whole package of cremini mushrooms that I have chopped up. So once this heats up, I will be adding all of that to that pan. Okay, my mushrooms are smelling fabulous. They are getting very golden brown, and that's how I want them. And see, just like this one, this is how I want all of them to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let these sit and cook. And now I'm gonna start with my eggs. Okay, so the star in this recipe is basil. So I've just taken one leaf, which I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to add right here. And I'm just gonna sprinkle that in. And this is at the end when your mushrooms are just about done. Now these little beautiful leaves here, I'm gonna save for the garnish because those are gonna be so beautiful. And then the rest of these I'm also going to cut up as well. And I'm gonna end up adding to the dish. It's gonna be so good. So mushrooms are just about done. Okay, so I have got 6 eggs, 6 of those farm fresh eggs here. So what I'll do is I will add just about, I want to say 2 tablespoons of milk, just 2 little splashes, nothing too much. Yep, there we go, 2 little splashes of that. So then I'll go ahead and I will start to whisk this together, and we'll get those eggs really whisked up very well. I'll show you guys. These are very farm fresh eggs, so they are extremely yellow. They're extremely fresh on the inside, just super fresh. So I eat these raw and I eat them cooked. I eat them both raw and cooked. So I just want to show you guys that real quick. So what I will do now is, now that I've got this pretty much, I want to really beat it together very well. And now that this is pretty much all beaten together, so I'm using 6 eggs so that this can fit perfectly into my pan here. So now what I'm gonna do is I have here, I wanna say it's about 2 cups of cheese here, 2 cups of it's a mixture of a hardwood smoked cheddar and then a smoked Gouda. So I will go ahead and now I'm gonna add to the eggs. I will add about 2 good handfuls of it. So 2 good handfuls. Okay, and then I will reserve this. So the goal is for this to be very cheesy. So I'm a cheeseaholic. This is a very good meal because it's gonna have a lot of potassium from the mushrooms as well. And then it's got all of that cheese, which, oh, it's so good. It's gonna be so smoky with the mushrooms. It's all gonna come together so well and so delicious. Okay, so now that that is all beaten together, what I'm gonna do now is I wanted to also mention that when you get to the end of these mushrooms, when you do add that little bit of basil, go ahead and add just about a teaspoon of butter to get those mushrooms even more crispy. And that is really gonna go ahead and make this super delicious. So as you guys could see, my mushrooms have now cooked down. I'm gonna come over and show you guys. My mushrooms have now cooked down to what I really want them to be. They are very small. So they are gonna be down here at the bottom. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to flatten this out because this is going to be what we're gonna put the eggs on top of, and then when we flip it over, the mushrooms will be at the bottom. So get your mushrooms right layered into the middle of the pan. You could also actually layer them on the sides as well, because when we put the eggs in, it's gonna be beautiful once it's done. Okay, so I just wanna show you guys, that's how I've got that. So I put that in there. So you'll just wanna, just spread them around the pan pretty good. So then after I've done that, the next thing that I'm gonna do is now on top of this layer of mushrooms, I'm now gonna add a little bit of cheese right on top of that as well for more cheesiness. Okay, so we're just gonna sprinkle some of that right on there. So I'm sprinkling, a pretty good amount. And then we will reserve just that little bit there for the end. We're gonna garnish the other side of it as well. So now what I'll do is I'll pour my eggs in here, right on top. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll just take a fork here and I'm just going to just spread it so it's just very even. So I'm making sure that the cheese that's already in there, that I'm evenly spreading that out. And I'm gonna come and show you guys right here up close how this is looking so far, because it's looking great. Okay. Okay, so here we are. You're gonna wanna go ahead and lower your heat a little bit. Okay, so I lowered my heat a little bit and it's looking great. This is looking awesome. So you are gonna want I wanna say a medium-low heat. Because what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna start getting a spatula and we're gonna start kind of doing this like an omelet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep on taking my spatula and I'm gonna keep on moving the egg right on to the center. I mean, you know what I mean, how to make an omelet. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to explain it, but so what I'll do is I'll push this back, and then when I push that back, I let more of the raw egg push under. So yeah, that omelet mechanism, I don't know if I'm trying to explain it right, but so that is the mechanism that you're gonna do, and you are gonna continue to do that while you cook this frittata until there is no more raw egg. So see, this is getting close to where, see, there's that raw egg. So I just have to keep on going and going until there is no more raw egg on the top, but still making sure that through my outside that I'm keeping things intact at the same time. So for my heat, I may adjust it a little bit. So you'll just basically, that's gonna be the whole mode for the next about, I wanna say 3 minutes of doing that. Okay, so I'm at a point here where there's no more egg when I go ahead and I lift my spatula and then I put egg down the crevices on the side there. So now that that's all done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a plate and I'm gonna flip this on the plate and then we will put it back in the pan. I also wanna note that I put some basil on the top, which is going to be, when we flip that over, that's gonna be so delicious, so good looking, and so beautiful. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take my plate like this, just do that, just flip it over just like that, and you see that? See how those mushrooms are looking so beautiful right there? It's looking amazing. So now, all I need to do now is I'm gonna go ahead and add some more butter to the pan right here. So I'll put my pan right back up on here to give you guys a little view of that. That's looking beautiful, gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna get a little more butter into the pan, which is gonna add more of that garlic, delicious garlic flavor. So I'm putting in another tablespoon. So this is going to be a very delicious, very high fat, delicious meal. And it just looks so good already. I'm like, ooh, okay. That butter all around. Okay, so now what I have to do is I have to retransfer this to the pan. Okay, so now that I've got that back in the pan, it's looking great. We're just gonna just top it with some cheese. It's gonna get it nice and cheesy. Okay, so I just covered it with a little foil just to let that cheese on the top melt, and this is almost just about done. Okay, so I just put some foil on top just to let that layer of cheese on the top get melty, and then this is basically all done. Okay, let's take a look. It's looking really good. Really, really good. So I know that this cheese on the top it didn't get as melty, that part, but it's still really good. So I'm actually gonna flip it to the other side. Doesn't that look delicious? It looks great. Look. That's what, ta-da! So this side, the mushrooms are actually, when I cut it, the mushrooms are gonna be at the bottom. So, show you guys. Ta-da! Mushroom basil frittata. Okay guys, let's eat. This looks amazing, doesn't it? And don't mind the stove is kind of loud because I have my water boiling to do my dishes, so sorry about that. So this is exactly what I had made last time. So you're gonna want to use 6 eggs, and if you have a pan just like this, just a little, you know, just a single little pan, that's actually the perfect pan. You can use a bigger pan if you would like to. You could probably even, you know, if you have an oven, I don't have an oven, so you could definitely put it in the oven to melt the cheese, which would be sweet. So okay, I'm getting a beautiful cut on there. I love basil. Basil is like my favorite, oregano and basil, I love them. I absolutely love them. Okay, so now that we've got that cut, I'm gonna pull away this piece so I can show you guys the cheese. I'm a cheeseaholic. Yes, I love cheese. So it is cheesy. This is actually a really good breakfast. It has so much nutrients with the eggs, the mushrooms. This is something definitely good for if you are on like a ketogenic diet. This could just be like definitely a breakfast all on its own, like just the whole thing. But I'm only having a piece of it because I'll also be having some liver with it. It's so good. The mixture of the smoky cheese, when it hits the basil, basil really is the star in this recipe. It really is the star in this recipe. Like once you add the basil, it adds a whole world to the mushrooms, and then also the garlic butter, the garlic Parmesan butter. So you don't have to use smoked Gouda and smoked cheeses like I do. You can use Parmesan, you can use Swiss. I think I've used Swiss and it's good too. That is so good. But the last time I used all smoked Gouda, but I was running out of smoked Gouda, so I got another smoked cheese. It's so amazing, guys. And see how perfect that egg came out? I'll show you guys the side. Egg comes out so perfect. Comes out in this perfect little shape to where like you could have like half of this. Like last time I had, I think half, or I think I had half of it, or I had it like a whole breakfast. It's like a perfect breakfast. 6 eggs. I mean, so good. I'm not about to have y'all watch me tear this all up for like 10 minutes. I'm kind of a slow eater, but yeah, this is the recipe, guys. This is what it is. Mushroom basil frittata. I'm so glad I was able to share this recipe with you guys. Just out here in this beautiful day, enjoying the sunlight. I have a beautiful view of the mountains, which I will actually show you guys also in a second right now after I eat this, okay? Thank you guys all so much for being here. I love you guys all so much, and I'll definitely be back with another recipe. I'm working on recipes. I'm gonna start writing down more recipes and getting more recipes out here for you guys. Okay, have a good day, and if you make this recipe, enjoy it, because you will tear this up. I'm serious, you will. Okay, love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.